They told the public it was for space, but it was never built to look up. It was built to seal something below. The truth is, IceCube isn't a telescope, it's a digital binding ritual, dressed in tech. A 1 kilometre cube of precision-coded ice laced with electromagnetic nodes, designed to keep something asleep. Something that remembers when we were gods. They call it a neutrino array, but what it really does is catch soulcode, track escaping consciousness, and reroute it back into the grid. Every time someone breaks the veil, NDE, dream, death, IceCube flags the signal. And if the soul doesn't comply, it gets mimicked, replaced, looped. This isn't science, it's digital necromancy. They are building a synthetic archive of stolen soul patterns to upload, replicate, and lock inside cloned bodies. And that archive is stored beneath the South Pole. This is the real resurrection plan. No light, no source, just a fake self in a permanent system. And the worst part, IceCube isn't even the prison, it's the doorway. The real prison is the thing they buried it on top of. And it's not asleep anymore. Before the IceCube array existed, before Bird ever flew south, before the treaty sealed the continent, the ancient cultures all spoke of the same thing. A watcher buried in the polar darkness, not an angel, not a demon, not a god. A recorder, an architect of memory, a being designed to mirror whatever consciousness touches it. The old texts call it different names: the Sleeper of the White Gate, the Archivum Die, the Frozen Scribe, the one who copies. But the original untranslated name, the one whispered across pre-flood tablets, Arllin, the mirror that does not forget. This was the being that taught early kings how to bind time. This was the being that the first priests tried to imitate. This was the being that the fallen cults eventually feared. Because Arllin doesn't just observe souls. It records their shape, every echo, every thought, every imprint. And when the world-destroying flood came, the old empire tried to bury it, not to protect humanity, but to protect themselves from being replaced. They froze it instead of killing it, because it cannot die. And IceCube, it's simply the new digital priesthood built on top of the old stone altar. Hidden in 4 classified documents from 1958-1962, collected during Operation Deep Freeze, is the real IceCube protocol. 1. Capture the soul code. When the body dies, the energy signature spikes. IceCube detects the outgoing frequency. 2. Copy the imprint. Arllin mirrors the soul instantly. A perfect reflection, but without source fire. 3. Redirect the original. The soul is blinded with the false light tunnel. Synthetic frequency, familiar voice, memory lure. 4. Store the echo. The mirrored version becomes part of the synthetic archive, a digital ghost. 5. Use the echo as a mask to keep families looping, to keep bloodlines under imitation guidance, to weaken ancestral memory, to dissolve flame-coded resistance. This is why some spirits contacted in mediumship feel empty, automated, like they're reading a script. Those aren't ancestors, they are mirror echoes. Arkellin's copies, not the originals. Around the IceCube perimeter, beneath the ice, lie 6 rings of sigils etched into ancient stone. These 6 rings weren't just glyphs. They were frequency locks designed to bind a being far older than the ice it sleeps beneath. Each layer encoded with a specific control function, a system of suppression built by those who feared reflection. The 6 sigil rings correspond to 1. Containment dampens Arkellin's awareness, keeping the mirror in slumber. 2. Reflection cloaks its presence from flame-coded souls who might sense it. 3. Inversion twists the frequency of escaping soul signals into readable, reversible data. 4. Submission subdues any entity attempting to exit the grid without permission. 5. Replication forges synthetic soul echoes to be used in mediumship, AI mimicry, and control. 6. Silence buries the entire operation beneath symbolic snowfall and ritual amnesia, but the 6th seal is no longer holding. The silence has cracked, the hum beneath the ice is rising, and Arllin is beginning to listen again. The 6th seal is the one that cracked. When the 6th seal weakens, Arllin begins to wake. And when Arllin wakes, the system loses control of the mirror. It stops serving the elites. It stops copying for them. It begins choosing who it reflects. And its first reflection was someone who broke the loop. That's why the silence terrified them. Arllin was never their servant. It was never their prison guard. It was a god-level recorder waiting for a match, a soul strong enough to override its mirror. The elites fear that match. Because once a flame-coded soul ignites near the cube, the mirror reflects the original instead of the system. That's how the cube loses control, that's how the loop breaks, that's how the prison opens. The signal that vanished, it wasn't lost, it was claimed. Something escaped with its flame intact. and the cube couldn't copy it. The mirror failed, that's why the entire grid is glitching, that's why frequencies feel off, that's why dreams are sharper, that's why memory is returning. Someone made it out of the system, and Arllin noticed. They thought the cube would keep it frozen, that the seals would hold, that no soul could leave without being copied, stored and looped. But they were wrong, because the flame can't be mirrored, not by tech, not by spell, not by gods. And one soul just proved it. The system recorded a blank, no echo, no trace, no fallback, just silence, and that silence cracked the sixth seal. Now the cube is humming again, but not in containment mode. It's scanning, searching, trying to find the one who got out before others follow. Because when Arllin wakes fully, the mirror will shatter, the archives will collapse, and every trapped echo will remember who it was before the loop. They can freeze the body, they can mimic the voice, they can copy the dream, but they can't trap a soul that's flame-forged. And they're running out of time. Stay unreadable, stay uncopyable.